Hey, welcome. I hope you can all hear and see me. Just to inform you, this session will be recorded and we will dispatch it afterwards to the other participants or those who are not participating actually. We will divide the session in two parts, one more general part and another part more on formats. Questions can be asked after each part, and you also can put your questions already in the chat, and my colleagues will try to answer them already in the chat. But if not, your questions will be answered afterwards. So just going fast through the agenda, we will start with just explaining very fast the ICP Connect in general. Then we will pass to the context in the general context and the context of the FYP3. We will pass to the theory of change of both FLIROS and the ICP Connect. Then there will be time for questions, and then we go to the more formal part, being eligibility, budget, timeline, the formats, the selection itself, and also what will happen after the selection. Okay, I cannot see you, so I hope you are all listening at the moment. There's something wrong. It's fine. Okay. So just to be sure that everybody knows what the ICP Connect is about, and actually, I suppose most of you do know it already. I don't think there are a lot of new people participating today. So, VLOS, ICP Connect, it's about, of course, integrating global perspectives and strengthening partnerships and network dimensions into, and that's important, existing educational programs. And the aim is that students, alumni, professionals, and academics that they acquire transversal skills and also state-of-the-art knowledge on, and it's also important, sustainable development. And ICP Connect programs mainly work through educational networks and through scholarships. As you all know, there are traditionally two phases within ICP Connect, two phases of each 2 years. The first phase is more on strategy development, and the second one is on consolidation and sustainability. Strategy development, it's about detecting potential partners, realizing agreements, preparing curriculum components, etc., and also working for a first time on alumni strategy. That is the phase you have all been in a long time ago. It's also the phase where our new 5 ICP Connect projects are at the moment. Then there's also the second phase. The second phase is more about consolidation and sustainability. This is about strengthening procedures, connecting partners, and also building on innovations, learning opportunities, and also alumni initiatives. And this, of course, is a stage where you are all in now at this moment. But as you all know already by now, if not, you wouldn't have been here, BUS decided exceptionally to add a third phase. And this phase actually is about strengthening the long-term dynamics and also the impact of the existing networks. It's really about, it's both a continuation and a new thing. The continuation is mainly about the educational part, the training of the agents of change, and also connecting with partners and networks. And what's more new is the emphasis that it's laid on mobilizing and connecting alumni and alumni networks. So what's new in this phase 3? It is a competitive call, meaning that not all 15 existing ICP Connect projects in phase 2 will be selected. Only 6 projects will be selected. The total budget will be smaller, and there also will be less scholarships. What's also new is that there's a specific focus. The focus is on alumni and alumni networks for further development of those. And also what is new, alignment with what we call the 3 global public goods, our 3 thematics, climate and biodiversity, global health and stability. Yeah, the context and the new FYP tree. I think I don't have to explain you that the context worldwide is changing and also at the national level. And at this moment, we as VLOS, we're writing our new 5 years program. It's supposed to be it will start in 27, but this also means that this new 5 year program will have to adapt to the new context, and hence also the new ICP Connect projects will have to adapt to the new context. We also have a new minister. It's this minister, Maxime Prévost. What's already special is that he's not only the Minister of Development Cooperation, but he's also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Affairs. And this says already a lot, namely the fact that development cooperation now is actually part of what we call foreign affairs and European affairs. This new minister and also actually the entire government is also stressing the 3D model, meaning the interconnection between development, diplomacy, and then defense, or what we can call security. And here we see also the importance we have towards importance of soft power and of alumni networks. But what he also does is Maxime Pavon, this we have to say, he also stresses actually the importance of higher education and the importance of research and innovation. So this is still a continuation, and he also sees actually the higher education as very important institutions for leveraging diplomatic relations. And then he's, for example, looking at our alumni networks. But what's also new is that he actually calls for a greater focus, both geographically. He calls really on a focus on Africa, but also on the three global public goods that are climate and biodiversity, global health, and stability. And he also stresses collaboration, and there's also something that you will see coming back in the rest of the call, namely the collaboration with Team Belgium. And Team Belgium it's a very broad term, but here in VLOS for the ICP Connect call, we see it really as Team Europe working together with ARES, ITM, but also with Enable and also with the foreign affairs and the different embassies. We have already talking also a lot about the VLOS alumni network, and that's also why we have to place this ICP call. This ICP call actually fits in our ambition to develop our own alumni network. Though saying our own alumni network is maybe not correct, because it will always be in cooperation with your own institutions. We aim to develop this, actually a policy to really start developing this network by the end of this 5-year program. And it's also this policy that will guide the further development and activation of the alumni network. Why this VLOS alumni network? Because, and you all stated before when we were preparing for this call also, that alumni networks are among the most lasting and strategic outcomes of Belgium's academic cooperation. And the ICP Connect projects are really a part of this. Just to give you some numbers, since 2003, we as VLOS, we had more than 15,000 scholars, both short-term scholars, study scholars, and research scholars. And of this 15,000, more of 4,000 of them are ICP Connect scholars. And as you already all have demonstrated, these alumni are very important for our network, because often without alumni, there are no new projects. So strengthening the network function of VLOS is also very important in relation to this alumni network. But what is also important for us when we're talking about this alumni policy is the fact that when we are more connected with our alumni, we also have the possibility to strengthen even more us in their capacity of being an agent of change. Think about working on leadership skills, for example. And then also important, our alumni networks and our alumni are also kind of a soft power actually, and gives us the Belgian government actually the possibility to develop the soft power and to link further with other Belgian actors. But I have to say, like for our alumni policy, the three pillars are as important, both the network building function, the strengthening of the agents of change, and the soft diplomacy factor. But of course, at this moment, there's a momentum to also build on the diplomacy and the triple D factor. Looking at the VLOS ICP and theory of change, I explained already that at this moment, actually, we are working on a new 5 years program for VLOS. And of course, part of this new 5 years program is also a new theory of change. For those who read already the call document, you can see parts of this theory of change already. But I have to stress again that the theory of change is not final yet. Certainly, the theory of change of for the ICP Connect has been constructed specifically for this for this call, but will be adapted later on for the FYP3 or the new 5-year program. I'm going to keep it short. The vision you're like the image you are seeing here is the impact story of VLOS, and I'm showing it to you because I really want to highlight that also in this impact, the 3 global goods plus an extra global good, the one on education, is expressly mentioned. And it makes also clear that in the new FYP3 of all projects, hence also from ICP Connect, they will be expected to think about how they can contribute to these 4 global goods. Of course, the goods like the higher education and science, since actually at the very heart of what you are doing, that is education. So you're really at the heart of this public good higher education and science. In the ICP call, we only stress actually the effects, the health part, the climate resilience part, and stability. Just to remind you, in VLOS, when we're trying to explain VLOS, which sometimes can be difficult, we're always referring to 6 project domains. You can see them in this circle. But actually for VLOS, for ICP Connect, 3 project domains are the most important. This is the one on education programs and methods, the people domain, and the partnerships and methods. The other 3 are also important, but you can also develop them in your project proposal, but we really ask you to work on the 3 others, mainly. About the outcomes. Like today, I'm just going to stress what is new in the call, so you can also read the call document yourself, of course. But for the one on this one, it's about individuals who apply relevant and co-created knowledge, skills, and attitudes. It's really, of course, connected with the people domain. And if you're looking at ICP Connect the phase 3, then it's really about, it's more about a continuation of what you have been doing now. And we stress the empowerment of students, all students, also including the scholarship students and also the alumni, in being agents of change and also connecting them to the different networks. The second outcome is about higher quality and more inclusive education. You will recognize this one. It's actually also continuation of what you are doing already right now. What we do stress here for the phase 3 is the important role of partners and alumni. Then the last outcome for ICP Connect is about knowledge mobilization to interconnected partnerships and networks. What will be new normally in the global ICP Connect theory of change is that we will also make a reference to collaboration with Team Belgium and the contribution to Belgian global academic cooperation. And then for phase 3, what will be specifically important is the reference to alumni. And then we're referring both to alumni as agents of change, alumni as kind of strategic ambassadors, and an alumni network that's supposed to become a kind of a self-sustaining ecosystem. This is the how it actually repeats the 6 project domains of LeoS and the 3 most important ones for ICP Connect. You will also find it in the call document. But I'm also what I also want to explain here is that actually for this phase 3, because you're all of you are already ICP Connect projects that are already going on for a very long time. We actually expect from projects that will be admitted, I have already kind of basic requirements in both industry project domains, both education and methods, partnerships, and alumni. So we expect you actually at the start of phase 3, but also during phase 3, of course, that you made already a significant progress in developing alumni networks, and that you also seek to further valorize these networks. Because if this is not what you want to do, then of course it doesn't make any sense to apply for this phase 3. And if at this moment your alumni networks are not already, if you didn't make already significant progress in developing these networks, then this phase 3 is not really is not really for you. We also expect that you have already a high quality educational program. I suppose it's the case for all of you, embedded in well-functioning partnerships and networks, and that you help both your students and alumni to be agents of change. But as I explained now, this is more of a continuation of what you are already doing right now. Regarding the outputs, I refer also to the call document. The first output is related to the people domain. It's about providing students, alumni, and academics access to relevant training, knowledge, and networks. It's very much also about leave no one behind and selecting scholarship students on the basis of leave no one behind principles, and also helping them, of course, to acquire and apply relevant knowledge, skills, etc. Specific for phase 3 is the fact that we really ask a clear selection strategy to select scholarship students in line with the leave no one behind principle. This people domain is both about scholar students, but it's also, of course, about alumni, and in a sense also really linked with the partnerships and networks domain. I'm passing to the output on education programs and methods. This you will recognize it also from what you are doing now. But what I maybe would stress here for the phase 3 is that I've already been saying before is that we really should show that you have a high quality international educational program that meets international standards. But of course, we do understand that there is less funding now than in the current phase. So we ask a specific quality, but of course, the activities that we expect now in this phase 3 are different from what we have been expecting during phase 2. We also expect you to demonstrate that you are a financial sustainability, and that you also have the possibility to attract a diverse and international student population, and even with reduced funding. When we're talking about financial sustainability, think about tuition fees and, for example, also extra co-funding you can find at another place. The last outcome, a project domain about networks and partnerships, is also something you will recognize. It's both about partnerships and about alumni networks. Partnerships, it's about projects who have to demonstrate that you're still developing or continuing to have the partnerships you're having already now, and you're able to continue these partnerships even with limited funding. That's expected to be still of high quality and financial sustainable. It's still important that there's a kind of a reciprocal exchange between the different partners, and if possible, the partners also, but these partnerships also strengthen the financial sustainability of the entire program. And maybe that's the most important thing of today, the focus on alumni networks and on alumni. Within phase 3, as an output, we find it very important that alumni networks are strategically managed. It can mean a lot of different things, but what we expect is that you really are able to create vibrant communities to, for example, connecting moments, webinars, etc. But I know a lot of you are doing this already. That you connect also your alumni to Vleures and to Team Belgium, meaning embassies, Enable, RS, ITM, or even other actors. That you also make sure that your alumni networks are institutionally embedded, being within your Flemish-owned institution or within the partner organizations. And this is a bit similar to what I've been saying before, that you must develop a high-quality network with a solid foundation and also strong connections, meaning that you're having like GDPR-compliant contact details, that you have regular communications with your alumni, that you're organizing activities, and also that your alumni network consists of different types of alumni. Can be scholarships holders, can go beyond, can be academic alumni with an academic profile, but will be good if there will also
Sorry, we start hearing Caitlin.
Yeah, indeed. There is no noise anymore, Kathleen. We cannot hear you anymore.
It's all silent. Okay, it's already for a long time?
No, just 30 seconds. Now we hear you back.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. What I wanted to say, like the connection between the people domain and this partnership domain, is when you're elaborating your proposal. I mean, it's no problem when there's an overlap or when you develop alumni networks only in the partnership part. We are aware there's really an overlap between the two, within the two different and even the three different domains. So there's no problem in cross-referring. I'm just going to go briefly over the global public goods, and then I will finalize this first part of the presentation. Because as I explained already before, the three public goods are important. You will be expected to formulate in your proposal how you think yourself, how you can contribute to the three different public goods. And of course, it will be different for for the different ICP Connect projects, because you're a different kind of projects, but we really ask you to reflect on this one. Climate and biodiversity, I'm not going to explain it all because it's in your call document, but it's very broad. It's about climate adaptation and resilience, protection of biodiversity and ecosystems, sustainable food systems, and innovation and knowledge sharing. And as always, also a linkage with peace and security. Global health, it's about strengthening health systems, access and productions of medicines, preparedness and information, about promoting sexual and reproductive health and rights, and also alignment with national health priorities. And then the last one, stability, is also very broad. It's about inclusive governance and the rule of law. It's about human mobility and local economic development. Maybe what I still should say is that it's not Flores who invented these three public goods. The elaboration of this what I mean actually these three public goods is also coming from documents of DGD, which will be used for Flores when we are developing our own 5-year program. So. Just to see whether there are any questions. I have no idea whether there were already questions in the chat. No questions in the chat. So if you have any questions, just go ahead. Do I have to assign somebody, or can I take the...
There's no question.
Okay. If there's no question, I will pass to the second part. Just can you maybe ask Steven to pass for the financial part? Thank you. Okay, and this more formal and administrative part, I mean, I suppose you all already read the call document, so I'm not going to repeat everything. I'll try to focus on what is new. But first, before I go any further, I should say that we made a mistake in a call document, namely the pages where are the selection criteria. We just noticed today that is a very old version. On the website, we added already the new version, but we will send it all to all of you afterwards again. So the selection criteria and the descriptors that you read in the call document until some hours before is it's an old version. Eligibility. I will pass on to eligibility. What is new? Of course, I didn't repeat it, but you all know that this phase is only for ICP Connect phase projects who are already in their phase 2. For the applicants, it's actually the same as in the previous phases. But there's one thing I really would like to stress, that is if important budgets are managed by the partner institution, or also in case of personal costs that are attributed to our partner institutions, then actually we require that the partner promoter will be identified, and that he will also be signatory of the agreement afterwards. Also, non-academic partners can be included as a project member or a co-promoter, but they cannot be a promoter. As always, we do have partner countries. At this moment, we do have 70 project partner countries. As it is always also has been noted within the call document, we are together with our bureaus in a process of updating this list. This will happen in May 26, and as soon as we have the final list, you will be informed, of course. But yeah, there will not be major changes. But what I do have to say is that until phase 2, Mozambique, Nicaragua, and Zimbabwe, they were actually considered as exit countries, so that we also accepted projects for ICP Connect in these 3 countries. this will not be the case anymore in this phase 3. Budget. That's also important, of course, even more because the budget will be smaller than before. I explained it already. Maximum 6 projects will be selected for a maximum of 5 years. There is an annual maximum project budget for each project of 40,000, hence 200,000 euro in total. Each project is allowed to select each year 6 scholarships per program and per academic year. And that makes it a bit special. Each year, a project can choose or for an additional budget of 20,000 project budget or for an additional scholarship. And this choice can be made for every project year. It can be different for every project year. And this is very important. Whether you choose for extra scholarships or for additional for an additional budget, this will not be part of the assessment of your proposal. Just an example. I'm going to take the example of a 2 years master because this is a bit more complicated. Imagine in academic year, in the first year, so 27-28, you are always entitled to a project budget of 40,000 and to 6 scholarships. But you're also allowed to either choose for an extra project budget of 20,000, hence resulting in a total project budget of 60,000. And you also can choose for an additional scholarship, which we can't also for 20,000. And then hence you will have the right to 7 scholarships. But then for the next academic year, you have to choose again. You can make a different choice. You can choose again for the next extra project budget or for an extra scholarship. But then for the 2 years project, this means that imagine that in the first year, this project chooses for the option of an extra scholarship. And in the second year, for extra project budget. This would mean, in practice, the first academic year, the project will have a total project budget of 40,000 euro and not 6, but 7 scholarships. And then in the next academic year, so 28-29, this project, in our example, chooses for the extra project budget of 20,000. Hence, the project will have a total project budget of 60,000 and 13 continuing scholarships, meaning the 6 scholarship students who were actually in a second year. We started in the previous academic year, plus the 7 second year students. So that's more or less the budget picture. Then I will pass to the co-funding. For this call in this phase 3, we really expect co-funding, given the more limited funding. And what is important is that this co-funding reflects also the shared ownership of the project. We deliberately choose not to say like you should look for 10,000 or 20,000 co-funding, but really wanted that it reflects the shared ownership of the project. Double funding is not allowed, and the co-funding can be financial or in kind. If the co-funding is coming from a higher education institution, being your own, a Flemish one, or partner institution, we ask that it's also formalized through an endorsement letter. Examples of co-funding can be external project funding used, for example, for student mobility, funding you have yourself to finance a coordinator, your institution who's helping you with an alumni officer, etc. Can be a lot of different things. Timing. The 2nd of April, that's today, we have our information session. The deadline for the applications is the 19th of June. Then the selection commission will be organized on the 3rd and the 4th of September. We will inform you about the selection results in September. Then it's important, in September, November, we will also start the contracting process. And then it's not mentioned on this slide, but then in October, we will also start the new call for scholarship students. And then the programs can start in September 27. Passing on to the formats and supporting documents. It's a whole list of documents. As always, all these, we provided them now in a Word file and in Excel files, but the Word file afterwards will have to be submitted in a tool, and the tool will be available like after Easter holidays, saying the week of the 20th of April. The different annexes to be provided, like the first annex is project activities and organization. It's the same as you know already. There's a budget file. This is new one, annex with an overview of students, an annex with a CV of the promoters, and the endorsement letters of both the Flemish institutions and the partner institutions. And then there are also a lot of optional annexes possible, but I will come back to this later on. The project proposal. What is new is that in this call document, we ask you a kind of an expression of commitment, a commitment to help Fleurus to develop the Fleurus alumni policy. I explained to you before that at this moment we don't have yet our Fleurus policy finalized, so it's also difficult to tell you what the kind of commitment will be. But in general sense, it will be sharing your experience, for example, collaborating in platform days, collaborating get-together nights, welcome days, support our local alumni activities, support local events with embassies, sharing your data. It will be this kind. It's at this moment it's limited to this kind of activities. Then I will pass to Module 1, the context analysis, because that's also something new. The first part of this Module 1, the context analysis, consists of what we call an assessment or self-assessment of your current ICP related to the 3 project domains I explained before, where we will ask you there to explain where you are at the start of this phase 3 and also for the duration of phase 3. Consider it as a kind of a fit for purpose. And it will be important to show that you're able to do this also with reduced funding. Another part of this context analysis consists of the showing the sustainable development contexts in a global context. Of course, it will be very similar to what you explained in phase 2. So there's no problem reiterating what you did in phase 2. But please, if you add something new, just refer to it. And what is, of course, new is the reference also to the priorities of the Belgian Foreign Affairs, hence, among others, the 3 public goods. So this will be something that you have to elaborate again or new. The assessment. So it's really about showing where you are now at the moment, at the moment saying at this moment and at the start of phase 3. And it's also about the basic capacities during phase 3. The first one is about the 2 domains, education programs and methods and people. There we ask you actually to show that your educational program is financial sustainable, and that you're also able to continue to attract a diverse and international student population, hence also the Annex 3, where we ask you an overview, and you also will have to show that you are a high-quality, international-oriented education. But this, as I explained, it is really what you are doing already now. But it is important to show us that also in phase 3, when you will have less funding, that you will be able to offer the same quality. And that's also actually the reason why we will ask your institution in the endorsement letter to explain until when you have the accreditation as an educational program. And then the next domain about networks and partnerships, there actually we ask you to show that you have and still have relevant and active partnerships. And of course, that you have a well-functioning alumni network. We ask you to show us like how did you develop in the past, what was your strategy, and what are your key results, and also to show us that you're a well-functioning alumni network with growth potential and also well-connected alumni, and how it fits with the Belgian priorities. So what we ask you here is that at this moment you're a well-functioning alumni network with a growth potential. And then, of course, for the rest of the project, it will be important also to show us how you will grow with this alumni network. Yeah, some examples, but you can also read them in the call. It's about like if you showing that you're now a well-functioning alumni network. It's, for example, about do you have good alumni data? Do you have regular communication and interaction with your alumni? Do you have regular alumni activities? How do you involve your alumni in your educational program? And for example, also, what is the geographical spread of your alumni? What type of alumni do you have? Model 2, the project strategy, is also something that you know from previous phases. But here I want to really stress that no theory of change is required. It may look as a theory of change, but this is really not something we require. We just ask you, what do you want to do? How are you going to do it? And the challenges you see for sustainability. And we also ask specific attention to the alumni networks. Model 3 is about organization. Specific attention is asked for the recruitment and selection of ICP students and scholars. Model 4 is about stakeholders and coherence. Model 5 is about planning and budgeting. And of course, also the co-funding. If you checked already our budget file, you will see that we don't ask you to formulate a co-funding in the budget file. It is enough if you explain it in this in the tool itself. And then model 6 is about monitoring. Now, what I wanted to do actually is to show you the budget file. And this is going to be a bit risky. You just need to drag this thing. Okay. Can you all see this budget file? Okay. What I want... Sorry? It's okay. I just wanted to show you because I got some questions in other during other for other projects. The coordination costs. Yeah, there's a you can choose between the 10% or the 5%. If there's only Flemish partner institutions, it's 10%. If there are also partner institutions involved, it's 5%. What I also wanted to show is the specific tip for the budget calculation. You can choose here whether you're a 1 year or 2 years program. Here you can add always, if you choose for 6 or for 7 scholars, and then you will see that it really adds from itself the possible extra project budget or not. So 6, you go to 7, you will see it adds up actually. So so this is how you can count easily what your total maximum budget is. So if there's no questions, I will go back to the PowerPoint. Then, yeah, the Annex 3, the overview of the students, it's about we ask the nationality of your students, both of the ICP scholarship students and the total amount of students and all your students. The endorsement letter for a Flemish institution, we ask that your institution formalizes the really repeats the accreditation status and the end date of the accreditation status, reiterates the commitments regarding the institutional support and also the co-funding. For the partner institution, it's about the employment of the main partner, the promoter, the support of the institution, and also the co-funding. Yeah, it's logic, but all annexes must be submitted in English. We only accept annexes in Excel, Word, or PDF. We didn't put, we didn't want to give like a specific, a limited amount of annexes, but we just want to tell you like be a bit careful with the annexes you're given, because like yeah, it still has to be manageable for a selection commission to read and analyze your annexes. And then we also ask you to give your annexes a specific name. But it's important because when the name of the documents is too long, we notice there are technical issues in our tool. So it's quite important actually. Yeah, going to the end of this presentation, the selection commission, as I told you already, it's going to be the 3rd and the 4th of September. The members of the selection commission will be present in person. The applicants, so you will have to participate online. Can participate as a Flemish promoter and a coordinator, and maximum 2 additional partners. We will ask you to give a 5-minute pitch, and there will be more or less a possibility to answer to questions, more or less 15 minutes. We will start arranging the timing and the slots by late April. Yeah, if you know there are some questions, some issues with or the 3rd or 4th of September, you can inform us already right now, of course, and then we can see how to fit it in. That's a selection commission. After the selection commission, I explained it all already. In September, we aim to give you the notification of the selection, and also we will also start a contracting phase. October 26 will be the first scholarship call. September 27, the start of phase 3. And what we promised, and we still have to work it out, for those programs that are not selected, as it is actually still the case, we will work out the possibility to keep on continue to work with the ICP Connect label. So I'm ending my presentation here. So I don't know if there are any questions in the chat or just as is. No in the chat. There's nothing in the chat. No other questions. No questions. Okay. Then I wish you a lot of success with the application. We will send you the corrected document. We will also make sure you have the recording of the of the session. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us, of course. Okay. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.